Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's check out Fairy Fencer F Refrain Chord running on Nintendo Switch 2. This is a sequel to Advent Dark Force, but unfortunately this game kind of misses the mark a bit compared to the original first game. The original game was written in a very comedic way. It was a very funny game, much like the Neptunia games. Unfortunately, this one, they decided that they wanted to make this a very serious game. So everything is played straight in this game, which is super duper weird considering how the original game was not played straight at all. And I think it loses a lot of personality, unfortunately, by trying to be a straight toned game. But that being said, if you're into the compile heart games, you're into the old school Neptunia games, then I think it's still competent gameplay wise. But obviously it's a hit or miss for people who play these Idea Factory compile heart games, because in and of themselves the combat, RPG combat, and the dungeons are not particularly well designed, and they don't really stand out that much. It's really the story and the dialogue which turns people on to these games. So let's check this out on Switch 2. I know the original game had some issues running on the original Switch. The frame rate wasn't quite locked in. Same way here. I think the problem was actually much worse on the sequel. So let's see how it runs on Switch 2. And it is on sale, so if you want to play it on sale, then you can. I think the base game is going for like $13 or something like that, which is normally $40. So it's quite a bit of a discount. Long ago, the people were given... Ages have passed since then. Our story begins with a young man named Fang, who wields a fury, a special weapon that houses the power of a fairy.
Arin-san, 僕を信じてついてきてほしい。
シャルマン様、私とフェアライズしましょう。
Very loud.
私は歌います。皆さんを救うために。
これが歌の力。
ごめんなさい。
アリンが俺の前から消えるってことか。アッキファングめ、この僕が必ず殺してやる。
Defeat Sherman. All allied units are defeated. Okay. Oh, doing tactical RPG. Okay. Yeah. Areas that our allied units can move to during their turn are highlighted in blue. Squares where characters can execute regular attacks are highlighted in orange. Move next to a square where an enemy is standing to attack. When the command list pops up, start by selecting attack. Upon selecting attack, the squares where your units can attack will be highlighted in red. Select the enemy standing above your square marked in red to begin your attack. Once your attack is finished, you can choose the direction your character will face while waiting. If the enemy attacks you from behind, you will take extra damage. Be sure to never show your back to the enemy.
始めますわ。
わいの番やな。あとはフォロー。
ステージ準備整いました。
Once the muse's aria gauge is full, the fairy aria command can be selected from the command menu. All allies within the fairy aria receive benefits from the song. The benefit each ally is receiving will be displayed in the upper right corner of the screen during their turn. When both the allied and enemy muses are singing, the area where their voices blend creates dynamic or dramatic resonance. Resonance areas occur when songs overlap. Here, the effect of muse's song is greatly increased. However, this will also increase the power of the enemy's song. Be careful.
よっこらせ。
始めますわ。はっ、行きます。
This increases the aria gauge. Oh, I see. We can wait.
サクサクっとな。ちょっと小さいで。全力だ。気合十分だぜ。
Oh, you've been working a lot? Good to see you, Flame. Gotta work more. Gotta work on the house. You gotta stream. You got a full plate.
いけますわね。足は引っ張りません。
手抜いたらんで。はっ、俺様の番だ。
アタックエフェクト。歯を食いしばりなさい。
お前を
Well, I guess it has been a couple days since I saw your status online. I tend to lose track of days here and there. Huh? Farewell. Oh, how did I get hit? What the heck? Oh, must be part of the story. I was like, I'm pretty sure I won.
あらら、女神と邪神が争い始めちゃったか。また同じ道になっちゃうけど、まあいいか。面白くなれば許してくれるっしょ。ほんと、きっかけってなんだっていいよな。明日の天気でも。
I'm just going through a bunch of games I found that were on part of the summer sale for Nintendo's eShop. So things on my wish list, which have been sitting there for a while, waiting for a good deal.
決めた。次はこれにしよう。破滅はあくまでさりげなく。さあ、誰も見たことのない混沌へ。どっかの誰かが退屈しない遊びを思いついてくれますように。
Yeah, it's interesting. The first game was kind of a real surprise. It was like a super funny game. But then this game is like a very serious game. and they made it more tactical RPG. I mean, the first game was a tactical RPG too, but things moved really, really fast, and this one is more traditional, more tactic style gameplay. Yeah, but there's a ton of stuff on sale. I mean, I picked up quite a few titles. So like the next day or two, outside of my First Descendant normal gameplay, I mean, I'm just going to be playing like a couple new games. Well, I mean, a couple games that are on sale, not really new games. Yeah, there should be some surprises in there. Although I did miss some of the sales, like Monolith and all the Resident Evil games. I missed some of those, but there's plenty more on sale. And yeah, I'll try to catch your next stream too, whenever you have time for it. I only caught you a few days ago when you were doing Liza P. Overture. But then I missed you doing the Wizard game, Wizard 2. Oh, getting tired? Yeah, I mean, it's late. Or I consider 11 late. I mean, I start getting sleepy at like 10. Gosh, you know, that's what being an adult does to you.
死ぬほど寝られた。というか、死んでたんじゃねってぐらい寝てたな。まるで10年ぶりくらいに目覚めた感じで、気分も最高だぜ。
Yeah, it's also a shame on this sequel that they didn't localize the dialogue, so there's no English voice acting like the original game. Oh yeah, I mean, I think you're 2 hours ahead of me. Yeah, because it's only 9 over here. And you know, it's June, like it stays daylight until, I don't know, until like 8:30 or so. So to you, I might be like a late night streamer, when to me it's just the night's just starting. But yeah, in 2 more hours I'll be like super tired. Yeah, I was considering doing Death Stranding 2, but I don't know how fun of a game that is to watch. You know, to watch somebody lay down a ladder and go up a ladder and then, you know, struggle through climbing a mountain. Like, I don't know how exciting that is. I just bought the first game on PC, so we'll see how it goes. I'll probably wait for the second game to be on PC. I don't really need to play it right now.
ゼルウィンズにあった妖精武器フューリーを俺がその場のノリ感覚で抜いたことで、そこからは一心同体の関係っていうかな。いや違うな、そんな真っ当な関係じゃねえ。俺様がアリンの主人で、あいつは従順なしもべ。だから完全に主従関係ってやつだな。とにかく俺はアリンと出会ったことでフューリーの使い手フェンサーになった。で、今は女神を復活させるために世界中のフューリーを探し回ってるってわけだ。なんでそんなことしてるかって？アリンそうしろってうるさいんだよ。アリンのやつは記憶を失ってるんだが、なぜか女神を復活させるっていう使命だけは覚えてるな。正直フューリー探しは面倒だが、女神を復活させると何でも願いを叶えてくれるらしいんだな。そんなご褒美があるならってことで、仲間と世界を回ってる最中だ。
Yeah, I feel you on Death Stranding. I mean, it's not for everyone. In fact, I think it's for very few people. It's just such a weird game because it's just a little bit above a walking sim, which I love walking sims. But you know, it's definitely not for everyone, and it's weird that somebody spent so much money on a game which is just a slightly fancier walking sim. But you know, it is interesting, and there's like a lot of weird plot that goes on. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people playing Death Stranding too. I mean, I don't think I really need to play that one.
で、世界を回ってるはずの俺がなぜこんな汚い牢屋にぶち込まれたのか、その理由が知りたいんだな。いいだろう。そもそも俺がこの町に来た理由は、とある金にがめつい情報屋からこの町にフューリーがあるって聞いたからだ。んで、ゼルウィンズからエンドはるばるここスウィルバーチまでやってきたはいいが、到着と同時に最大の不幸が俺を襲ったんだ。財布を落とした。思い出しただけでも腹が立つ。あんな腐れ財布。もちろん側溝の裏側からゴミ箱の中まで徹底的に探しまくったぜ。ただ財布を見つけることはできなかった。そして俺は思ったんだ。ああ、やる気なくした。フューリーとかもうどうでもいい。俺の財布が行方不明の世界なんて滅びてしまえばいい。しかし闇の中にこそ光あり、絶望の淵にこそ希望あり。財布をなくし貧血で苦しみ、腹が減ってもう一歩も動けない、そんな絶対絶命の状況の時だった。俺の目に飛び込んできたんだよ、光り輝く黄金の上りがな。スウィルバーチ名物すり鉢ラーメン、超特盛りを食べきれたらお代は無料。泣いたね。ああ、俺はワンワン泣いたね。俺は一瞬も迷わずにラーメン屋に飛び込んだ。そして産声を上げるかのように力いっぱい。
Yeah, because the mini games are at least very straightforward. To deliver a package in Death Stranding requires a lot of work, which would also be true if you were really climbing a mountain. But again, I don't know how exciting that is.
すり鉢ラーメン超特盛り1丁。だが人生とは残酷だ。
ラーメン屋に飛び込んだあの決断がまさかさらなる悲劇を生むことになるなんて。続きが気になるか？だが残念ながら続きは次回だ。次回ファング3軒逃げろ。体力の続く限り地平線の彼方へご期待ください。
Oh, never mind. There's some comedy in this one. I got the impression that this was way more serious than the original game.
言い方をしてるのよ。結局お腹いっぱいになっちゃって時間切れで食べきれずに終了。払うお金もないから牢屋へ一直線ってだけじゃない。はあ、もうあんたって人はいつまでたっても変わらないわね。もっとしっかりしなさいよ。
Yes and no on that one, right? So, yeah, it's not super straightforward. Like if there's a mountain that's that you need to get past, or you want to get past, and there's no way around it, then yeah, there's like little crags and cracks. You know, you have to be clever about where you put your ladders. You have to be clever about where you walk. You have to be clever about how you balance your packages that you're carrying on your person, right? You have to stack them in a certain way. There's kind of like a little mini game on how to stack packages so that you're not leaning left and right. So there is more than just walking up a mountain. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like that's all you do is just walk up a mountain and deliver a package. There's a little bit more to it than that, but not that much more, right? Like I said, it can be fun if you're in the right mindset, but I don't know. Like if I'm watching somebody play it, I'd get a little bored, honestly. Yeah, and there's combat too, so you do run into enemies here and there. So it's not just walking around. In fact, and there are boss battles. You know, pretty significant boss battles in the game. But again, how exciting is it? I don't know. And the story is super weird, so it doesn't really start making sense until like 3/4 of the way through the game, and then you get kind of caught up in the story. I don't know. It's very Kojima.
待ちくたびれたぜ、アレン。
Like it's not a bad game, but I don't know how good it is, you know.
ファング、助けに来たわよ。まったくいつも面倒を起こしてくれちゃって。
I mean, I'll play a little bit of it since I have it on PC now, or at least the first game, not the second game. Second game I'm just gonna wait on.
アリン、遅いんだよ。しもべなら主の危機にいち早く駆けつけろ。
誰があんたのしもべよ。前にも言ったけど、フェンサーと妖精は対等なの。
Yeah, there's some minor hand-to-hand combat. But yeah, I mean, you're kind of throwing poop at the enemy for a lot of it. There's guns too. I mean, so it's not, yeah. So there's a little bit of everything, but it's not like real precise combat. It's not like you're playing like Elden Ring or Ninja Gaiden or anything like that. So it's not really meant to, like, combat's in there, but it's not really a focus of the game. Mostly the focus of the game is the character development, the weird plot development, and then just the complications of climbing up a mountain or climbing down a mountain, and then building roads. You know, I don't know. I make it sound like really boring. It's not as boring as it sounds, but it's also not that exciting.
絶対に覚えておいて。でも確かに少し遅かったみたい。
That's one if you're gonna play that game, then you have to be one of those really chatty streamers, because just watching somebody go through the motions, it's you know, it's a challenge.
ごめんね、ファング。
Oh yeah, Metal Gear Solid Delta. Yeah, that's gonna be really exciting. I might actually finish that game someday. Now that it's gonna be remade, I get to the point where I get past the end. You know, where you're fighting the old man in the sniper battle, and then I stop playing. I think every time I've played it, I've stopped right after that. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just like I get demotivated after that.
そう深刻になるな。あれはちょっとした気の迷いだ。暇すぎてふざけてただけなんだ。
本当なんだか随分と楽しそうだったけど。
Yeah, one time I waited so long in between sessions that I really did just like I didn't end up fighting the end. He just died, right? Because that's that's one of the ways that you can beat that boss is, you know, since he's so old. If you just wait long enough, you let enough time pass. I don't know, I think it's like 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. Then when you start the game up again, he's just already dead. So I did that accidentally, just because, you know, I don't play games necessarily like in a row, like days in a row. Like sometimes it takes me a while. Sometimes I'll take like a couple of years of break on a game and then get back to it years later.
忘れろ。今すぐ忘れろ。一生忘れろ。俺もそうさ。完全に黒歴史だ。
それならいいんだけど。
とにかくここから出せ。一刻も早く抜け出すぞ。
Then my understanding is that all those same tricks from the original game are going to work on the remake. So we'll see about that. I would think that they would change like some of the bosses and maybe have some new areas or something, but you know, who knows?
へえ。
なんだ。何かおかしいこと言ったか。
なんか意外だなって。どうせファングのことだから、牢屋は3度の飯が出て快適だとか、好きなだけ寝られて最高とか言うと思ったの。
最初はな。最初は俺だってそう思ったさ。でもな、全然ちげえから。ここはそんな生優しいところじゃねえんだよ。強制労働とかいうふざけたもんをやらせやがるんだ。
ああ、なるほどね。普通に肉体労働とか。
違う。そんなまともなもんじゃねえ。ここの強制労働はな、天井から落ちる水滴を半日数えさせられたり、おにぎりを渡されて米粒が何個あるか調べさせられたり、砂場の砂粒を数えさせられたり。
Count all the sand in the
全く意味
sandbox.
のない生産性ゼロのことを延々とやらせるんだよ。
うわ
もう嫌だ。完全に嫌がらせに決まってる。
だね。それはゴキブリとも話し出すわけだ。
俺の苦労を分かってくれたか。ならほら、さっさとここから出してくれ。俺の心が完全に壊れちまう前に。
Okay, I take back what I said about this game at the start. I guess this game is still comedy. It's just that there's no English voice acting, that's all. So, like, it doesn't... the voice acting doesn't necessarily come off as comedy. But they're saying funny things.
なんだ、急に薄ら笑いして気味悪いな。
今ならファング、私の言うこと何でも聞く感じだよね。
こいつ悪い顔をしていやがる。ほらほら、冗談はそこまでにして早く鍵を開けろって。
あれれ、そんな言い い方で大丈夫なの？
待て待て待て、お前 S キャラってわけでもないだろ。無理するのは良くないぞ。いつもの素直で優しいアリンでいい。ありのまま、ありのままが一番だな。開けろください。開けてください。
いい機会だから約束もしてもらっちゃおうかな。
Oh, Chord Odyssey. Yeah, it's in early access. I actually haven't really heard that many good things about it. It seems like it's really divided. That definitely is a 50-50 game. You know, either you like it or you hate it.
これからは私のことをちゃんとパートナーって認めること。はい、復唱して。
なんだそれ。
私とファングの間には切っても切れない濃い絆があるんだから。それも認めて私をきちんと尊重すること。わかった？
ああ、はいはい、わかったわかった。
Yeah, that's true. Trailers are usually a little misleading, you know, even in video games.
約束するじゃなくてちゃんと口に出して。
めんどくせえ。
一生ここで砂粒を数えてたい。
アリンをパートナーと認め尊重します。
へへへ、約束だからね。
今度はそっちが約束を守る番だ。ほら、さっさとここを開けろ。
はーい、ちょっと待っててね。
ようやくこの狭い廊からおさらばだぜ。じゃあな、同居人のゴキブリ君たちよ。できればもう会いたくはないが、これからも元気で過ごしてくれ。いやー、出れた出れた。
ふふん、助けに来てあげた私に感謝してよね。
Oh, you don't want to Switch anymore? He's gonna just get a Switch 2 instead? Save up a little bit? I really like the Switch 2. I think it's quite a bit of an improvement. Plus it, you know, the games, the backwards compatible games, they all run better. You know, very few exceptions. Obviously there's some games that still don't work, but, you know, Nintendo's working on getting those to be compatible.
ああ、そういえばそうだったな。
いったー！なんで私の頭を叩いたの？
生意気なしもべにお仕置きしただけだ。
またしもべって言った。私を尊重するって約束したのに。
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling the Switch 2, I mean, it probably won't last another 8 years like the Switch 1, but, you know, I think it'll have a pretty long life. It'll probably 6 or 7 years, I think. Display technology isn't, you know, getting any better necessarily. You know, we're not going to have 8K be common or anything crazy like that.
何が約束だ。あんな不利な状況での交渉はただの脅迫だ。守る価値なんてない。
それはそうかもしれないけどさ。私だって頑張ったんだよ。ファングが食い逃げしたラーメン屋さんにはお金を持って謝りに行ったしさ。ここに来るのだってたくさんの監視を魔法で眠らせたし、 自分が捕まるかもしれないのにだよ。
Yeah, hopefully when you're ready to buy the Switch 2, it'll just be available. I mean, they're doing a pretty good job on supplying, but, you know, every once in a while you do see that it's not on sale. Yeah, I guess that's true. Nintendo works on a different timeline. They're like, what's everybody else doing? We don't care.
分かった分かった。とにかく助けに来てくれたことは感謝する。ありがとうよ。
なんか気持ちこもってないけど、話進まないし、いいことにしておくわ。
んで、出口はどっちだ？もちろん脱出ルートも加工済みなんだろ。
へへへ。それがさ、余計なおしゃべりしてたから眠らせる魔法は解けちゃったかも。
つまり監視はみんな元気いっぱいで、俺たちを見つけたら血眼で襲ってくる。
え？
なーにが停車員！お前責任持ってもう一度監視たちを眠らせてこいよ。
無理だよ、そこまでの元気残ってない。
くそ、仕方ねえ。邪魔する奴はぶちのめしてくか。
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'll be at the top always. I mean, they did have the Wii U. So, they have scraped the bottom of the barrel before, you know, and not really that long ago. But, yeah, I mean, they'll always make money. They're a very shrewd company. So even if they're, you know, not necessarily selling a bunch of consoles, they are making their games within a budget, you know, getting them out on time, mostly. So... But you're right, there's always going to be a certain number of Nintendo fans out there. I mean, I'm one too. I mean, I'll buy all those Nintendo systems. Even if I wasn't streaming, I'd be picking up, you know, Zelda and Mario and, you know, all the other games. Battle Prep screen. Use the Battle Prep screen to get ready for battle. Use the Units tab to select which units will appear in battle. Change the participating members' equipment via settings. Use map confirmation to view the position of enemies and allies. Allied unit positions can also be swapped from here. Oh wow, this is like a full tactical game now. I mean, the last game was much simpler. You didn't have like square units. You know, you could just walk around the field. The turn order of allies and enemies is displayed in the upper right part of the screen. Once an allied unit reaches the leftmost position, you'll be able to move. After all actions are complete, that unit's turn will be over. Accuracy and damage dealt will be displayed at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, I mean, it was super smart of them to basically tackle the portable market and the home console market and combine them. Because, you know, people will always want to have a portable console. Like even though the phone can play, even though your phone can probably play a lot of the games available, it's still really not that good of a game experience playing games on a phone, unless they're specifically phone games.
俺様の番だ
And, you know, a phone battery's only good for so long, right?
新たな
Every time I play a game on my phone, that phone gets real hot. It's like, I don't want to play a game anymore on this thing. And any modern phone is going to be good for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours at the most. If you're playing an actual game. Whereas the Switch, you know, I mean, it may not be more than 3 or 4 hours, but that's still more than your phone. And besides, you want to use your phone for doing phone things. You don't want it to be, you know, mucked up playing a game and drain your battery because you're playing some sort of game on there.
全員よく見とけ切り刻むてってれー
Yeah, I think the Portal was a nice idea. It's just that you're tied to your PlayStation. So you basically have a system that you can use around the house, but not necessarily outside of the house. So it's sort of like, I don't know why they didn't really go for a full PlayStation Vita 2 or PSP Portable 2, you know? It just kind of weird decision.
また来世楽勝楽勝 なんとか脱出できたな。やっぱりシャバの空気は最高だぜ。あ、アーリン遅いぞ。もたもたしてると置いてっからな。
よいしょよいしょ。ねえ、ファングも手伝ってよ。
あ？それってもしかして。
監視に取り上げられてたフューリーちゃんと回収しといたんだから。
おお、よくやったよくやった。
Yeah, I had a friend that had a PlayStation Portal. And he said it was cool, except there's still a little bit of lag. You know, even though you're only using your own local network, it still, for whatever reason, has to talk to a server outside of your network. So it's like it's not really lag-free gaming. I think that's the only problem with it.
ほら、いっぱい褒めてやる。よーしよしよしよーしよしよし。角砂糖も食べるか？
バカなこと言ってないで、あんたも運びなさいよ。こんなか弱い女の子に運ばせて心が痛まないの？
アリ、お前はか弱くなんてない。たくましくて頼りになる俺の最高の相棒だ。
こういう時だけ調子いいこと言う
な。わかったわかった。んで、どうすんだこれから。
Yeah, again, remote play is a little bit laggy, but in a pinch, you know. I mean, you could use it. Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just kind of weird decisions with the PlayStation Portal. I'm not sure why they just didn't want to invest in another Vita, but I guess maybe it's just too expensive for them, and they didn't want to have to break up all their development teams. I mean, they have a hard enough time making games as it is, right?
一度ゼルウィンズに戻ろうよ。みんなも待ってるからさ。
それがいいか。さすがにゼルウィンズまでは監視たちも追っては来ないだろうし。それにゼルウィンズの仲間たちもリーダーの俺様が不在でずっと心細い思いをしてるだろうしな。早くあいつらに元気な顔を見せてやって安心させてやるか。
別に心細くなってないよ。みんな好き勝手に過ごしてるし。
Yeah, I think it's because of the Japanese market. the portable and cellular market in Japan is so high. Like so many people play games on it on their phones or want a portable. But I guess that's true now in the rest of the world too, not just Japan. I mean, you know, they sold 3.5 million systems already, so obviously people are into portable play still.
そんなわけないだろう。大事な大事な
I mean, it must be close to 4 million by now.
まったく1ミリも。ティアラもキュイもハーラーもバハスもガルドもマリサもシャルマン様もリュシンも KR 鉄道より通常運転よ。
ああ、でも分かったぜ。そういうことか。そうだよな。みんな本当は不安でどうしようもないけど必死に隠してるんだろう。いつもと同じ日常を送ることで他の仲間を動揺させないようにさ。それしか考えられん。
でもそれなら私が助けに行くって言った時みんなもついてきてくれるはずじゃない？
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I don't mean, I don't really necessarily have a good cellular connection. At least not one where I'm willing to pay all that money. I mean, I'm on AT&T, so, which is pretty good in this area, but, you know, and I can get 5G, but I don't really want to, well, I mean, technically I have unlimited, but, you know, it's unlimited until you reach a certain cap, and then, you know, it's slow unlimited.
確かにここにはお前しか来なかったな。ちなみにだが、お前が助けに行くって言った時、他の奴らの反応はどんなものだった？
いってらー。
言ってら？それだけ？
それだけ。
本当に？
本当に。
ガチで？
ガチのマジで。
ガチのマジか。
Yeah, and again, the hotspot, I mean, hotspots cost you money. Well, I mean, you can bundle it into your plan, but I have to pay separately if I want a hotspot. That's like a separate charge because because AT&T can charge me that.
みんな、いってらーって一言だけ。
ゴキブリ君たちのところに帰る。
せっかく出てきたのに？
うるさい、うるさい、うるさい！もうあんな白状者どものことなんて知らねえ！俺は真の仲間のもとに帰るんだ！待っててね、ゴキブリ君たち！
ダメだって、ちょっと待ってよ、ファング！
離せ、こっちゃ！
ああ、もう落ち着いてってば！ほら、みんなの反応だってさ、ファングのことを信頼してるから逆に少しも心配してないって感じかもだし。いってらーっていうのも、ファングなら仲間の力がなくても余裕で脱出できるって分かってるからでしょ。
おお。だな！現にこうして俺は一人の力で牢から脱出してるわけだし、それだけ信用されてるってことか。
私の存在忘れてる？
細かいことはいい。ほら、ゼルウィンズに帰るぞ。帰ったらパーティーだからな。リーダーの帰還を祝って盛大にやってくれ。
Yeah, I mean, several lawsuits and some laws later, it's not quite as bad for AT&T. But at least in my area, I mean, they have like the best coverage. I know Verizon is supposed to be the better coverage, but that hasn't really been true where I go. So it ends up, you know, AT&T ends up being the better choice for me. The other smaller carriers, you know, like the T-Mobiles and the Boost and all that stuff, they tend to work off that old Sprint network, and you know, it's really good when you have a signal, but you don't have a signal most of the time. Or, well, sorry, you don't have a signal like 20% of the time, which is 20% of the time is when you really need it. You know.
ほんと単純。
Ooh, we got a Subfairy. Subfairy PXS04G. And Sylph. Lilina. Oh, Cricket's actually good where you are. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think
ほんなら皆さん、我らがリーダーの帰還を祝って乾杯。
for me, Cricket mostly works. Yeah, if I'm in the city. If I go anywhere outside of the city, then it's sometimes, maybe. But the price is good. I mean, there's no denying that.
乾杯。骨の髄まで染み上がる。
Oh, are they owned by AT&T? Mm-hmm. I guess that's not too terribly surprising.
よーしお前ら、今日は俺様が主役だからな。力の限り俺様をもてなせよ。常に俺様を喜ばせることだけを考えろ。
I know, there's probably been a few years, right? It's probably been a long time since AT&T bought them.
ってことでまずは一人ずつ。
That lets you know how long it's been since I've used Cricket.
感謝の言葉を述べてもらおう。
では私たちを代表して私のパートナー妖精であるキュイがファングさんにお言葉をお送りしますわ。なんて感動するスピーチなんでしょう。これでファングさんへのお言葉は終わりです。以降はおのおの歓談の時間ということで。
ちょっと待て。キュイの言葉なんてわかるわけないだろ。やり直しだやり直し。
ゴキブリの言葉は分かったのに。
その件を蒸し返すな。やっと忘れてきたところなのに。
そもそも私たちの感謝の言葉よりもファングさんの謝罪の言葉の方が先じゃありません？ファングさんの食い逃げというおバカお丸出しの愚行のおかげでフューリー探し自体が中止になったのですから。さあ謝ってください。この私に神戸を垂れて誠心誠意ですわ。
ああもう無視だ無視。高慢高飛車女に付き合ってたらせっかくの宴が冷めちまう。
なんという暴言。もう一度言ってくださっても構いませんのよ。
ティアラ、なんか前よりもひどうなってんな。
ほら、くだらねえことやってるとせっかくの料理が冷めちまうぞ。今日はいつも以上に腕によりをかけて作ったんだからな。残すんじゃねえぞ。
当たり前だろ。牢屋の中でどれだけバーハースのおっさんの手料理を夢見たことか。いっただきまーす。やべえよ。めちゃくちゃうめえ。感動してなんだか泣けてきたぜ。
嬉しいこと言ってくれるじゃねえか。
おいハラ、お前のおっさん妖精とアリンを交換しようぜ。そうすれば毎日うまいもんが食える。
それは願ったり叶ったりだ。そうなれば私も好きなだけアリンちゃんを研究できる。
Oh, I completely forgot about Harley. I never did get her ending in the first game. Maybe that's something we should do.
却下却下。勝手に妖精トレードしないで。
ラーから離れるわけにはいかねえからな。
自慢じゃないが、私は自分の服や下着がどこにあるか把握していない。
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the, well, I mean, I guess I'm in the Portland area, which is pretty much where everybody lives out in Oregon. But if you go outside of the Portland area, then yeah, it's much harder. Like Eastern Oregon, I mean, that's, yeah, you know, it's either desert or woods. So, you know, if you ever want to go out and vacation and get away from the city, then yeah, it's much tougher out here. But if you stay in the city, then there's plenty of coverage. And I don't think that's changing anytime soon. I don't think there's a whole lot of money to be made in areas that are not Portland in Oregon. You know, just the population is just kind of centered in one place. And the rest of the population is, you know, not that interested in technology.
バハスがいなくなったら、その日からほぼ裸で過ごすことになるだろうな。まあ、そうなったところで別に大問題というわけではないが。
いや、大問題だろ。お前もいい大人なんだから、せめて自分の身の回りのことくらいはきちんとできるようになってくれ。脱いだ服は洗濯かごに入れる。自分が使った食器はきちんと洗う。風呂上がりに裸でうろうろしないとかな。
ほんとバハスってお父さんみたい。
I know. I really wish that that high-speed initiative managed to pass. It's just kind of a shame that we can't lay more fiber everywhere. I mean, we can, but there's lots of cable companies out there, or any internet provider out there, that wants to prevent like access everywhere. Right? They want to have very, very controlled access. And the country's so big. You know, to get fiber from coast to coast everywhere, it'd be a challenge.
ですわね。でもバハスさんがお父さんなのでしたら、あちらはお母さんですわ。
ほらガルドちゃん、お口の周りにケチャップがついているわよ。さ、ふきふき。あと、さっきから食べてるお料理がお肉に偏っているわ。お肉、お肉、野菜。お肉、お肉、野菜のリズムでいきましょう。
おう、任しとき。お肉、お肉、野菜。
バハスもマリサも自分のパートナーを甘やかしすぎだよ。あら、それはアリーさんも同じではなくて、食い逃げで捕まった自業自得の人をわざわざ助けに行くんですもの。相当な甘やかしだと思いますけど。それはだってファングがいないとフューリー探しもできないから。
Yeah, I mean, Oregon, outside of the city, it's really beautiful. And, you know, whether you like it or not, you know, we get all 4 seasons. So some people love that, and some people are, you know, not super fond of it. Inside the city, I think it depends on which city. You know, some cities are better than others, certainly. Portland's not bad. I just feel like if you go outside the country, then like larger cities just tend to be a little ahead of us. Unless you're talking about like the romance countries, you know. If you're talking about like France or Spain or England, that's a little bit different. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's just different, I guess. But yeah, it's convenient to live in Oregon, or Washington too, for that matter. But it's also expensive.
別に甘いとかそういうの じゃないもん。あくまで私のために動いたの。
And if you live in Portland proper, I mean, you're paying some taxes. But at the same time, you're also getting services, so, you know, it is what it is.
あら、フューリー探しでしたらシャルマン様がいれば滞りなく行えると思いますけれど。
確かに。
おいちょっと待て、今聞き逃せない言葉があったぞ。リーダーの俺様がいなくてもシャルマンさえいればフューリー探しができるとかなんとか。
Yeah, I mean, New York is very expensive. However, that being the case, you know, you can make a lot of money there, but yeah, your day-to-day expenses are pretty significantly higher. Washington's better, but yeah, I said definitely. I mean, compared to Mississippi, it's a world difference. Yeah, you're right.
ポジティブ。ティアラがそう発言し、アリンも同意した。そしてその判断は間違っていない。
おいシャルマン、お前の妖精バグってるんじゃないか？おかしなこと言い出したぞ。
そうですか？至って普通のことを話してると思いますね。ファング君の気のせいじゃないですか？
むっきー、その余裕しゃくしゃくって態度がムカつくぜ。いつも
それは申し訳ありません。僕もファング君みたいに汚く醜い欲望を本能のままさらけ出せればいいんですけど。
ネガティブ。シャルマンには理性と知性がある。どう転んでもファングにはなれない。
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. You know, you don't earn as much, but you also don't have to spend as much. Here you have to earn quite a bit. Well, I mean, depends on what you consider good living, I guess. But, you know, if you're making 15 to 20 here, you would definitely have 1 or 2 roommates. You know, you couldn't live by yourself for sure. I mean, if you're in Portland proper, that's way beyond. I mean, it's at least 2 roommates. Areas outside of Portland, maybe you get away with it. I mean, as time goes on, like the area just gets more and more expensive. Like more and more people move here. Well, they move north, right? So they go from California to Oregon and Washington, and so that just brings the expenses up higher and higher. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's sort of a good problem to have, that more people want to move over, but at the same time, then you may get priced out of where you're living currently. I mean, that's fairly common. That's not like unique to Oregon. Not unique to anything. You know, I mean, that's everywhere in the states, really across the world.
今日は俺様が主役なんだぞ。シャルマンじゃなくて俺様を褒めろよ。
はい、いい子いい子。ファングちゃん、なでなで。
だー、そんなんで喜ぶのはガルドくらいだ。俺様を子供扱いすんな。
いくらなんでもそれはひどいで旦那。ワイにもマリさんにも失礼や。
うるさいうるさい。こうなったらもう楽しみは食うことだけだ。バーハス、ありったけ持ってこい。
たくしょうがねえな。ほら、これでも食って仲良くしろ。
うっしょー、旦那、このコロッケ最高やで。こっちのハンバーグも絶品や。
こっちのオムライスもやべえ。ガルド、そのドリアと交換しろ。
またいつもと変わらない騒がしい日常が戻ってきた。
ファング不在時は静かに過ごせたし、作業効率も上がった。
I forgot how many characters are in this game. There's like 8 main characters in this game in the series, I guess.
やはりファングはリーダーとして不適格なのでは？
僕はそうは思わないな。リーダーとは良くも悪くも場の空気を制する力があるものが適任だと思う。
Yeah, I do hear you on the minimalist living thing. Well, I think people just can't afford it. You know, I think it's just very expensive to like live a metropolitan lifestyle.
周囲を巻き込み、目標に向かって突き進む力。そういう意味では。
I mean, right now I'm lucky enough to be pretty specialized in my field.
判断を保留す
But
る
that was just like a series of lucky encounters, lucky jobs. Things could have turned, you know, much worse for me.
目指す先が世界平和である限りね。
おいシャルマン、何すかした顔してんだ。早く食べねえと肉なくなっちまうぞ。
ありがとう。今はそっちに行くよ。
ああ、ファング、その最後のプリンは私の。食べちゃダメだってば。
うるせえ、早いもん勝ちだ。
なら私がもらい。
キャー、そんな殺生な腹姉さん。
Although I'll change my lifestyle drastically when I move to Korea, so you know, I won't live anywhere near like I live right here. Oh hey man, yeah, I want everybody to be successful. Well, maybe not everyone. There's certain people who you know, I'd rather wish bad luck on, but but for the most part, I think everybody deserves the life that they want.
ほらよ両親、シャルマンが気に入ってた料理のレシピだ。
So people work hard in America. I mean, it's tough to live here.
礼を言うバハス。今度返礼として希少な食材の確保を約束する。
私も少し食べ過ぎちゃったかしら。明日は普段より多めに運動しなきゃね。ダイエットですの？それなら私もお付き合いしますわ。
どうしてぼーっとしてるのかって？なんかいいなって思って、仲間がいて笑い合って楽しくて幸せで。
Yeah, South Korea is an interesting country. It's got a little bit of everything too, but it is very hard to live there as well. I just need like a change of pace. So, and like South Korea is not like a dramatic shift. I mean, it is and it isn't. It's not like living in like Scotland, you know, where I mean your lifestyle is quite a bit different than it is in America. Yeah, well, North Korea is that's a very complicated story with North Korea, but yes, it's not like, exactly tourist friendly, and they don't exactly welcome newcomers in North Korea.
こんな時間がずっと続けばいいのに。
I think there was a period in time where they were trying to get the tourist industry up there, but it's very, very difficult. The city of Zelwins offers a wide variety of facilities for your adventure. You can enter a given location by selecting the destination from the icons at the bottom of the screen. Opening the custom menu allows you to save your data. You can also change equipment and review tutorials, among other things, from here. But you know, I guess that's okay. You don't, you know, not every country is going to welcome you. So there are some countries that are much more isolationist than others. And depending on what kind of life you want to live, maybe you don't even want to visit. But it's okay. I mean, I don't plan to go to North Korea. I'll probably stick in South Korea, or maybe just Southeast Asia in general. Yes. Politically, there, it's I don't know. Every time you hear from a refugee from North Korea, it doesn't seem like it's a necessarily a great place. I mean, they're escaping for a reason, right? But you never know. I mean, the world changes pretty quickly. So, 1 minute. I mean, it used to be the opposite. It used to be that North Korea was the rich Korea, and South Korea was the poor Korea. So, yeah, you never know what's going to happen. Now South Korea is quite significantly wealthier than North Korea. I mean, we see that in America too, right? Where some cities, they had a lot of wealth in like the 60s or 70s. The 80s came along and pretty much devastated. Well, I'm thinking of Chicago specifically, but yeah, lots of cities have kind of come and went in America too. Sometimes they have good opportunities. Sometimes it all goes away. For here, it would have been like, logging towns and mining towns. There are a lot of towns that just disappeared off the map. And, just because the resources and the jobs weren't there. It happens. Alright, well, we stop it there. This is meowmurai. You've been watching Fairy Fencer F, Refrain Chord, running on Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, I'm actually surprised on this game. I thought this was a different game than when I first played this. I think I first played this on PC, and I don't remember it being very funny. So I don't know if it's changed, or maybe my understanding of the language is different. But yeah, it's a funny game with funny dialogue, much like the original. It just doesn't have English dialogue, which I thought was really, really good in the original game. And the voice actors they picked were spot on. They really hit their lines, and they were super funny when they needed to be. So check it out. It's on sale. And this is a tactical RPG, so it's a much different game than the original game, which also was tactical, but not grid-based. Like the original game was more free roaming tactical, and now we have grids, much more traditional. So I will be playing this a lot more. I am curious to see where the story goes from here. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you at the next stream. And thanks for stopping by, Flame. Hopefully you'll get a chance to play too. Or whatever you'd like to play. Then I can visit you.